All right, all right. We're live. We're live. All right. Let's see. Did that go through? There you go. All right, sweet. I think we're good here. Everything looks like it's connecting. Yeah, yeah. All right, cool. Hey, what's going on? Maynard, Texas. What's your first name? I always forget what your name is. All right, cool. And also give me a thumbs up or tell me if you all can hear me. All right. I got a dog on my lap. Hey, Denise. Que paso? Dog on my lap, and he's taking up space, this guy. So I have to pull it. Okay. Someone's in charge of the house, and it's certainly not me. All right, cool. Good. Right on. Hey, Marie. Monica. Que paso? TW. All right. Quincy Mass in the house. I'm going to start with a very odd turn of events in the legacy of Big Al Einstein. This guy was chosen, man. You're not going to convince me otherwise. This is freaking insane. Actually, I think what the cabal does, I think they have a bunch of people at the ready. If you look at the history of Obama, you're like, that doesn't make any sense, dude. No way. And it's the same with George H.W. Bush, then George W. Bush. Don't forget Prescott Bush and JFK's dad all made money off the Nazi war machines. Just doing bad stuff. Anyway, you start looking at this, you're like, man, there's something very, very mysterious and sinister among our elites. Anyway, I think what it is that they have a bunch of people lined up, and like Burton Malkiel in the Random Walk Down Wall Street basically said, there's always going to be a Peter Lynch. There'll always be a Warren Buffett. There's always going to be one person that astounds normals. He'll go beyond what everyone else could do, and you'll think it has something to do with skill. It's just luck. There'll always be that guy, and I think the cabal's like that. They have these people picked, and they say some people, we're going to call you off the bench here, Al, Big Al. We would have. I'll share with this story here real quick. It's funny, but you'll serve the purpose now more than what the other guy would. It's crazy. Anyway, if you're interested in the backstory of Obama, you should really look into it. It's breathtaking. In fact, how funny it is, frankly. But it's not even just because Obama. Just look at the backstory of George W. Bush, man. The Bush clan, the Kennedy clan is crazy. And then you're like wondering, how did Clinton get in there? Because Clinton is just a hick from Arkansas. And I mean, how was he able to take over for Cuomo? Cuomo was a chosen guy. Mario Cuomo was a chosen guy. And Bush Sr. had, after the first Iraq war, had numbers through the roof. How did the cabal let Clinton in? That's what I want to know. How did they let him in there? It's weird, man. Because we talk about the Clinton machine, but he's a hick from Arkansas, dude. How did he get there? It's very odd. Anyway, there's always going to be an Oprah Winfrey. There'll always be one that you're like, that doesn't make sense. All right, so let me read this to you again from my book, The Drama of Einstein by Antonina Valentine, who had a personal relationship with Einstein. I'm not saying sexual. I haven't gotten the sexual proclivities of old Al yet. We'll go into that at some point. Owen Benjamin says E equals MC squared means Einstein equals married cousin twice. E equals MC squared, because Al had some pretty racist tendencies and pretty deviant sexual proclivities that we all are no one's told about. Anyway, so let's read this real quick. All right, let's see. All right, there was, however, a rival on his path who was already established at the University of Zurich, and who had been a former colleague in the Polytechnic. All right. Frederick Adler, father, Victor Adler, was a leader of the Austrian Social Democratic Party. He was well known and had a large following abroad. Socialist circles in Zurich were very much on his son's side in the competition to get a professorship between Frederick and Big Al. A famous name might easily have eclipsed a stranger. Once more, Einstein's career was in jeopardy, but integrity was a god to Frederick Adler. It was he who intervened with the university authorities and stood aside. One of Einstein's biographers, Professor Frank, describes Adler's impatient tone in promoting Big Al. If we can win a man like Einstein for our university, it would be ridiculous to nominate me. My faculties as a man of research in the field of physics are not in the same class as Einstein's. He insisted that political sympathies should not be allowed to interfere with a nomination. Now remember, Big Al was able to publish. He was literally a tutor for a couple of young wayward boys who were out of control, but yet he's still able to publish physics documents in the most prestigious scientific journal at that time. He had no. It's just insane, man. He had some guy from Poland who happened across Big Al's writings, who took it to Max Born. This guy from Poland was of the same Abrahamic religion. And before you go all Kanye West on me, I'm just saying there is same group preference for a group that has been discriminated against. And I actually applaud that, frankly. If we're being discriminated against, we need to band together to promote our self-interest. I actually think it's wonderful. I got no qualms with it at all. But let's not deny the fact that he had some obscure guy who had to basically work. No one thought was anything intelligent at all. And yet somehow he comes to this freaking so stupid, man. You sit there thinking, what? And Max Born, who is of the same ethnicity, religious, whatever the freaking thing, I don't care. It somehow said, yes, this is the guy. And yet this guy was working as a low-level clerk in the Swedish patent office. All right, so here's Frederick Adler, who's saying, no, man, don't nominate me. Nominate Einstein, Big Al instead, because he's so much smarter than I. Interesting. Now, again, Einstein's university career began with this disinterested pleading by a man whose political convictions were well known. He was later to give a spectacular proof of them in his own hour of fame. For one day, a particularly critical moment in the World War I, Frederick Adler walked into a Vienna restaurant and shot and killed the prime minister, Count Sturgard or something like that, because he held him responsible for the disastrous and long drawn-out war. This is where it's funny. Among the strange twist of fate that linked the career of Big Al with the great international events is the fact that Frederick Adler, in prison and on the eve of his death sentence, his execution, was correcting a paper of his own, refuting the theory of relativity. This theory, however, was by now so well established in the scientific world that it was on the strength of the arguments he expressed against it that an attempt was made to save Adler's life on the grounds that he was out of his mind. He was crazy. Did you hear that? So because Frederick Adler, who had killed the prime minister, held him accountable for what was going on in the World War I, because he was arguing against the theory of relativity, which at this point had become so knee-deep in science, they basically said, look, he's crazy. He's arguing against the theory of relativity. So he obviously did not know what he was doing when he pulled the trigger to kill the prime minister. Yeah, okay. And to this day, relativity still is on very weak and weakening by the day grounds. Just the whole thing's stupid. The idea that this science is based on anything of, we're debating, we're looking at different sides of the story. No, man, it's all based on friggin' who's got the power of the purse. And actually, I forgot the guy's name. I posted something on my channel about a guy. Actually, let me see if I can't. Hold on. I forgot his name. But he had posted a book on the legacy of basically big government taking over the research. I can't remember what it's called. Secretive or something like that. And the good and bad of the government basically controlling all scientific research. I can't remember. Now, I'd buy that doggone book, but it costs like $250 or something like that because it's all out of print. Anyway, there you go. I just chuckle at this idea that Einstein is the cat's meow. I'm trying to think who Neil deGrasse. He's too stupid. Is Hawking? Hawking was weak. I don't know who the new guy is going to be in the 2020s. or the 22nd, 21st century. So we had Einstein in the 20th, Darwin in the 19th, and that's just, I don't know, one was Newton, the 1600s or something like that. Newton's the 17th century, I guess. Darwin, Einstein. Who would be the new guy? Yeah, I'm not sure. It's gonna be interesting to find out. Elon Musk, I suppose. I mean, he's completely fake too. Uh, yeah, that'd be interesting. It'd be fun to watch. Anyway, everything with skepticism, my friends. Everything with skepticism, other than the big guy upstairs. So let's say a quick prayer. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we just pray and thank you for your abundance that you shared with us today. You you give us the spark of life, the divine spark of life. May we not squander it on stupidity. May we use the brains that you give us to do our own research and come to our own conclusions and not rely on just the media or just rely on our own brains to come to our own conclusions and to use the brain to always be investigative, but to recognize it is through your abundance that we are here today. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. I think it's always good to be gratitude towards a big guy because the big guy gives you the ability to think for yourself. And you don't have to be freaking O'Brien in 1984, where you ultimately fall in with what the state says, because the state is becoming more and more powerful. But man, you can't be without hope, dude. I'm thinking I was listening to a guy, yap about how much better it was in the 70s and 80s. I'm like, dude, are you crazy? Like, because he's saying, look at all this 57 flavor stuff and all this, we've degraded. I said, do you not know how bad it was back then? I mean, my goodness, dude. Have you ever just listened to a lyrics of a Led Zeppelin song? I know it's easy to bash hip hop because it's freaking horrible in terms of lyrics, but it's not like his new Led Zeppelin. I mean, all that stuff, freaking horrible lyrics, completely debasing women. Yeah, just none of these guys want to be dads. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And I saw a study that said more men are now hanging out with their children than they did in the previous generation. That's huge. That's a huge win, dudes. Huge win. More men are hanging out with their children than they did previously. Dads, essentially, because that's a problem. All these dads are totally taken in by the, freaking sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And my generation saw that, said, no, not in this house. You see what I'm saying? I tell you, man, it's a jubilee happening. It's fantastic. I really think there's going to be a revisiting of positive stuff. I absolutely do. I mean, look, you're going to have two divided societies. One is, degradation, pain, suffering, torment of just, I need more to satisfy me. And the other one's like, hey, man, I'm going to be comfortable to have, which is why you want to be poor on paper. So let's go into this. This is so I was talking about my better half today. Let me just show you. Oh, there he is. Oh, hi, Pablo. So I was talking to Charlotte today. I said, man, because I was taking Chloe back to University of Georgia yesterday or 2 days ago. I said, man, I like it out here. Not Athens per se, but I like that whole area. I said, it's nice, dude. You know what I'm saying? And I was telling her, maybe we should just retire out here instead of going back to Virginia. And she's like, whatever. She loves Virginia. I love Virginia. She's from Virginia. I'm not, but that's where we married. And that's where we had 3 of our 4 kids. And I was like, it's so much easier because, we don't have to, I don't know. Anyway, then I looked at my electricity bill today. And I said, whoa, the tax on this puppy is 7.75%. That's $19. And that's on a bill that was only $267. So last month my bill was $500 or something like that. If I take my trusty calculator, that means my tax was $35. Then I looked at my tax on my gas bill. This is sales tax. And my sales tax on my gas bill is, again, 7.75%, another $20. All right. So by the time you factor in your cable bill, your phone bill, in fact, I don't want to get him up on that because he's so cute. Look at him. Look at that guy. Why is that comfortable? Anyway, we'll just assume we're probably paying $150 a month in sales tax on just various things we use: cable, phone, utilities, all that stuff. I don't know, maybe $100. I don't know what it is, but we're probably paying a pretty good amount of money on sales tax alone here in the great state of Georgia, which is a great state. In Fulton County, my property tax ain't cheap either. So if my property tax is probably 1%. All right. Now, the one thing you can control property tax depending on the county you live in and depending on the state you live in, 100%. You don't want to live in New Jersey, but you certainly can control property tax if you live in a Wright County. I don't know if any counties in New Jersey can be cheap. I think the northern one, most in New Hampshire is pretty cheap. I don't know about New Jersey, and I'm trying to think. Texas, they probably are pretty expensive. We lived in Kendall County, which is north of Bexar County in San Antonio, and that was still pretty expensive. Anyway, so property taxes are contingent on your house value, but and you can't control that in some regard. You can control income taxes if you're poor on paper. However, you're still going to consume stuff, dudes. You're still going to have electricity. You're still going to have all this stuff. Cell phones, cable bill, you name it. I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Dog food. I have no idea what else they tax on. But if you're thinking about it, you're like, everyone focuses on income tax. I'm not focused on income tax at all because by the time I did a video just 2 minutes ago, I showed you this guy was living on nothing but Social Security and a reverse mortgage. This couple, no taxes whatsoever, none, dudes. And even having like $5,000-$10,000 a year of RMDs, no taxes on like $90,000 of income. So income tax is on you. If you can control that. Property tax on you in terms of house you buy, you can control that. Sales tax tough. Now you don't have to consume, I grant you, but you're going to consume your electricity. You're going to consume your freaking cell phone. You see what I'm saying? So it's like telling my wife, said, man, that's freaking these sales tax killing me. She's like, whoa, I didn't know that. I said, I didn't know either, man. So anyway, so I started looking. And then I got an email in my realtor.com alert. Look at new listings in Lexington, Virginia. Now, we're not moving until the youngest is out of school. So that's another at least 3 to 4 years. But look at, and I said, oh, dude, Virginia just kicks ass. And I just tell her, I said, man, as much as I like it around Athens, I tell you, I just like Virginia better. Is all there is to it. So then I came across the Tax Foundation because I love the Tax Foundation. I said, let's take a look at sales tax in Virginia because out west in Western Virginia, the sales taxes are not very high. You know, Rockingham County, when we lived there, hell, dude, I think it was like 0.5 or 0.6 or something like that. It's crazy. All right, so here's how high are sales taxes in your state. Now, this can be a little bit misleading initially. Here's Oregon, no sales tax. Talking to a guy from Oregon yesterday, and they get you on property tax. You go over to Washington, there's no income tax, but they get you on sales tax. So here you're kind of stuck. Montana, they get you on property tax. And I can't remember the income tax. I think it's high. New Hampshire is great. There's no sales or income tax, but they get you on property tax. They got to get you someplace. And it's too cold, man. I'm sorry. I have all these fantasies of moving back to New England. Took my kid out there this morning to go to cross country. It's 33 degrees. I was like, dude, it's only October. I said, I can't take the cold, man. It's too cold. All right. So then you get Delaware here. Interesting. Delaware used to be considered like a southern state. Even when Joe Biden initially was running in the 70s, he used to say, we were with the South. That's what it was before all the cool kids said, no, you can't say that anymore. Joe Biden literally used to say, what was the guy's name? Not Bird. The freaking, I don't know if it's Klansman. You know, the racist guy from South Carolina, Strom Thurmond or something like that. He goes, yeah, we were with you guys in the Civil War. That's what Joe Biden said before. It's not cool to be for the white guys. You know what I'm saying? As if being for the South was for the white guys. It wasn't. Being for the South was for the aristocrats, the Cavaliers, the aristocrats. It wasn't being for the white guys. All these people like, oh, the South will rise again. I'm like, all right, but you know who was running the South and took you to war to begin with? It's so freaking frustrating, man. I'd sit there, I'm sitting there thinking, the South aristocrats were the ones who send you to war. It wasn't the freaking just the guys digging ditches. So freaking nuts, dudes. Yeah, it just drives me cool. Anyway, so there's Dirty Joe Biden saying, oh, the South, we were with you guys, Strom Thurmond. And Delaware is fantastic. Now, I'm not really trying to move to Delaware, even though it's a freaking fantastic. It's like mid-Atlantic. Look at that. It's going to be tough to be Delaware. Low property tax, no sales tax, low income tax. I can't remember what it is. Delaware is probably the premier state to retire to, except for the fact it's all, the main control is run by Dems from Wilmington. Yeah, you can avoid that. There's like a couple counties in Delaware which are dark red. But anyway, so let's take a look here. So we're gonna go down here, and we're gonna see like Indiana looks okay, right? But then we're gonna come down here, I just burped. Sorry. Sue me. So here's whoa, Indiana. Oh, it wasn't Indiana. What was the? Hold on a second. Well, I thought it was Indiana. No, maybe it wasn't. Well, we'll go to Georgia. I thought there was a state that had. Oh yeah, maybe it was Alabama. Okay, I could have sworn it's Indiana. But anyway, let's check a look at Alabama. So if you look at Alabama, their state sales tax is only 4%, but they allow a local tax of 5.25, a combined tax rate of 9.25 in Alabama, the fifth highest in the union. They allow a max local tax rate of 7.5. We're just going to raise your sales tax by a penny on the dollar to fund this, the new stadium for freaking Elon Musk to have a football team. Look at that. So don't get taken in by the state tax rate. You got to look at the average, the local. So come down here, the great state of Georgia. Same thing, 4% state, 3.37 local, average local. 5% is a total that they allow you for local tax on top of the 4% state. I'm in Fulton County, so my tax local is certainly higher than that because they got to get it somehow to fund the insanity that's down there. So I'm paying 7.75 here in as a state tax, sales tax. Idaho, that's good, only 6%. All right, that's still pretty. That's worse than I'd like. Maybe it was Illinois. Yeah, 6.25. I don't think it's Illinois. I could have sworn it's Indiana, but I can't remember. There's a state that a low state tax, but they had huge local taxes too. Maybe it's Indiana on the income tax. I think that's what it was. So Indiana has a pretty low income tax, but they allow localities to tax, the bejesus out of you. So here's Illinois, 6.25, but then they add another 2.5 on local taxes, and you're paying 8.73, even though you're not paying any income tax on your retirement income. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm like, we don't want local tax, that's for sure, because local tax is where they can say, we're going to get you for schools so you can pay for the woke mobs that are teaching our schools. So the top 10 states to retire in my opinion, are the ones with the lowest sales tax. Alaska, Delaware. Look at that. Delaware, no sales tax. Interesting. Hawaii. The guy who's finishing up the thing for us lives in Hawaii now, Jim, the back deck. So he goes back and forth to Hawaii. Is a great guy. It's taking a long time because he has to go back to Hawaii, come back, and we don't care. We'd never hire anybody else to do our building as we sit here now because the guy he's freaking anal about making sure everything is right. It's actually funny. I thought my wife was. I think Jim, you got OCD, man, because he is anal about stuff. But there's Hawaii, low sales tax. All right. We go down here to Maine, the great state of Maine. So everyone says, I want to retire to New Hampshire as opposed to Maine. Don't do that, man. But there's no income tax in New Hampshire. You don't have to pay income tax in Maine if you know what the hell you're doing before you retire. 42%. The total sales tax is 5.5. The great state of Maine, right there. Keep going down. Montana has a higher income tax. I'm not sure what the property tax is, but let's go back to Maine. Maine property taxes are going to be lower than they are in New Hampshire. Guaranteed. Maine has an income tax. Maine has low sales tax. So Maine starts to look pretty doggone close to New Hampshire, doesn't it? Yep, exactly. Except the houses are cheaper in Maine by and large because all the moneyed interests are coming up from Boston, going to New Hampshire first before they go up to Maine, if that makes sense. New Hampshire, there you go. I mean, that's not to discount New Hampshire. New Hampshire is still good. I'm just saying, don't say I'm going to New Hampshire over Maine because there's no state income tax in New Hampshire and no sales tax. Yeah, they get you on the property tax side. And then we come down here. Virginia, look at that. Look at that, 5.75, the great state of Virginia. Interesting. Wisconsin and Wyoming. Pretty cool, huh? And that sales tax will eat you alive. You don't even know it, dudes. You don't even know what the sales tax is. Crazy. Here's Washington because they got no state income tax, so they're going to tax the hell out of you. Here's Tennessee, no state income tax. They're going to tax the hell out of you. Here's Texas, no state income tax. They're going to tax the hell out of you. So in my opinion, I think it's better to have more diverse taxes, property like Maine, income, and sales, as opposed to nothing on one thing because they're going to get you on the other thing, if that makes sense. In fact, let's look at Pennsylvania here. 34, 6.34. That's not bad. But look at Kentucky. Kentucky is right there, 38, 6%. That's pretty good. We're starting to get up there. I like it. I like it. Idaho, DC, I guess is tied. I don't know. But who wants to live in DC? Well, unless you're part of the cabal, nobody. Where's 30? Where's 38? Yeah, Michigan right there, and Maryland. So now we go up to the south, the mid Atlantic here. We got Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia, and Pennsylvania. Why is that? Because they're all competing for the sales tax. And they can't have one that's way above the other. Like when we lived in Maine, and we only went to a Red Sox game, I think twice. But when we went to the Red Sox game, when it came back, we'd stop in Portsmouth for my dad to buy his beer and cigarettes because there's no sales tax in Portsmouth, if you know what I'm saying. So you'd be an idiot to buy your stuff in Kittery. You could just hop on over the border and buy in Portsmouth. Now, I don't know what the pricing I don't know if Kittery charged a lesser price in Portsmouth. I don't know how that works. I would probably think they have to make some adjustments, but basically, long story short, is I just remember every time we go to Boston, it wasn't much. We'd always stop in Portsmouth to get his beer and smokes because it's sales tax free. And it's always, you're like, oh, we got to stop. Yeah, let's just stop. I'm running here. Everybody go to the bathroom. And then this is the 70s, my friends. In the 70s, no one, smoking like a freaking chimney in the car. No one had seatbelts on. You sit in the back. We didn't have a car, so I'm not sure how we drove, but sit in the back of the station wagon, looking at the people behind you because you're sitting facing out, and say, hey, Josh, pass me up a beer, would you? I mean, it's just this is back in the 70s where it's just, I know people say that was more freedom oriented. Not necessarily, man. I mean, there was some stuff that was better, some stuff that was worse. Anyway, that was back in the days. And I don't know, in terms of if Kittery had his lower cost, I don't know. But it was pretty interesting, is it not? Yeah, it is. So now if you're sitting here thinking, okay, let's go. Let me show you something here. We're going to go to oh, Pablo, you stink. Damn. Oh, Bobby's. All right, so I'm going to go to state tax. I want to go to property tax. Oh, geez Louise. So let's go to property tax. Right here. Woo, Bobby's. So here people pay the most property tax by county. 5-year estimate in 2020, and we got blue is the most. And notice, all right, so here I am right there. So there's me, your old buddy Josh. All right, so you see that darker green right there? But you can still go out to McDuffie County, wherever the hell that is. I don't know. Up here to Whitfield County, over here to Fannin County, which is I love Fannin County. Oh my goodness. I was thinking more like, where's Jackson County right there? That's kind of where Athens is, Madison County. Keep going up, Franklin County. Here's Forsyth County, go Dawson County. Where's Pickens County? Anyway, the point being is you can see some of these counties are not nearly as dark as other counties. Let's go back to Virginia. Here's Northern Virginia, Fairfax County. Who the hell wants to live there? No. Here's Montgomery County. That's where I went to high school. That's my wife is from Prince William County. And we lived out Nelson County is freaking awesome. But we lived out here, right there, Rockingham County. So you can move in plenty of places in Virginia. We're not going to pay the high property tax that would be indicative of if you don't look at it county by county. If you're like, oh man, my county, my state pays a high property tax. Well, does your county? I think that, yeah, this is the one, New Hampshire, right there. Coos County pays $3,000. That ain't bad. And here's Cumberland County in Maine, right there. Hold on a second. So Cumberland County is $4,000, which is 33% higher than Coos County, but Coos County has no sales tax and no income tax. Cumberland County is in Portland, by the way. Come up here to Washington County. Look at that. You got the water right here. Yay. Then you go over, where was I? I was in right, what was it, Jefferson County in New York. Oh, it's up here, St. Lawrence County. Yeah, that's where I was in the Army. That's Fort Drum right there. But I mean, you can see in this, obviously, the rich people live in Wyoming, that Seattle area, King County. But you can see that, I mean, some places there's no hardly any property tax at all. So what you do is you find a state like Virginia, and we'll probably come down here to Botetourt County or maybe Rockbridge County. When we retired, Bedford County, it's just freaking, oh, love it. So you're coming down here to Allegheny, that's right here with Bedford County. You say I'll pay $1,000 a year in property tax on the median house, and I'm just throwing that out there. My sales tax is lower than most other states in the union. But your income tax, your income tax, you can, if you do it right, you don't have to pay much of anything, man. Oh, but I can't retire, Josh. Don't you know about health care? All right, so that's most property tax. I think we just did that one. Yeah, Fulton County right here. Freaking Fulton County. Mr. Fulton. Yeah. How high are property tax? Yeah, so here you go. People say, look at that. The property tax, if they just look at a state perspective, they'd be skewed to think, oh, I can't retire to New Hampshire because the property tax is 1.96. Well, it wasn't in Coos County. Isn't that good? I love it, man. I love this stuff. All right, let's go to lastly to income taxes. We're going to go to state income taxes. All right. And people are going to say, how does taxes affect interstate migration? Not much, dudes. I'm telling you, everyone thinks there's this huge movement from California to Texas. There are a number of people, but the vast majority of people who actually move, they stay in the same state, and actually they stay in the same county. Isn't that crazy? All right, Stinky. Oh. That's pretty cool. Tyreek Hill's tax liability with every franchise. Interesting. Well, I think Alex Rodriguez, when he went from, I can't remember Alex Rodriguez. Did he play for, I forgot what I was going to say. All right, hold on a second. State tax. I want to see income tax. They usually have a federal. All right. Let's see if they give us a chart here. That's not what I was looking for. I was looking for a chart. Hold on just a second. I like the tables. That's not what I was looking for. Anyway, oh, here we go. There we go. Stop that. Come over here. You know I love you forever, but what am I so afraid of? I'm not afraid of anything because you're protecting me. Oh, you don't like my singing, Pablo? How dare you? All right, there we go. So these are how high are individual tax rates in your state? Who cares, dude? What the high individual tax rates are? I mean, because again, our modus operandus, or whatever, is to be poor on paper. So I don't care if freaking New York. I mean, I don't want. No one should live in New York. Obviously, it's stupid. But no one's going to pay 10.9% who's watching this channel. That's for sure. You know, California. I don't want to live in California. You shouldn't either. No one wants to live in California. They're going to pay 13.3%. I had a guy email me the other day. I said, man, and I always say this, California had more Trump voters than Tejas did. And people will say, really? Or they'll say, well, it's because California is so much bigger as a state population. Both are true. A lot of people don't know that. And I said, if just 10%, that's it. 10% of California Trump voters moved to Nevada or Arizona or Georgia, this whole country would be different, dudes. Whole country would be different. You know what I'm saying? And anyway, this guy emailed me, said, I can't remember what he said, like he has 3 kids or something like that. And they all moved to Nevada from California, and they're right wingers. I said, yes, that's what we need. So if you're in California, a Trump voter, do your duty to save our country. Get the hell out of there. Your vote doesn't matter, but it matters a whole lot more here. Now, what the Democrats will do, of course, like in Massachusetts, they're from Massachusetts, but they go up to New Hampshire, go to college. They'll just register in both states and vote in both. Not supposed to do that, but no one's getting prosecuted. Right, Brad Ruffensbarger here in Georgia? Freaking our secretary. I cannot believe he won the renomination. I cannot believe it. This guy knows for a fact that people are voting in the cleanest and fairest way here in Fulton County. He did nothing, nothing, and yet he's going to win again with a landslide. I'm not voting for that guy. I won't vote for stupid Bean Nguyen, the stupid Democrat, because Democrats are pure evil. But I cannot believe that Republicans renominated this clown. It's crazy. He knew, he said it, and nothing happened. No one got prosecuted. No one went to jail. And yet we're going to take these guys seriously. It's the cleanest and fairest election in the history of mankind. It was YouTube algorithm, wherever you are. It was the cleanest and fairest election. My vote counted. It counted for Biden, just like I wanted it to do. YouTube algorithm. And we know what happens in Massachusetts. All these people go over the border and vote for people in New Hampshire and come back and vote for Massachusetts. No one cares. It's okay. So anyway, if you're in California, just freaking move, dude. Get the hell out of Dodge, man. You're going to run out of electricity anyway. You're not going to have any. So you might as well get out of Dodge before it's too late. Think about it. You start getting massive brownouts, you're not going to be able to sell your house, dude. No one's going to want to move to California if they can't freaking turn the lights on. So we don't really care about the highest bracket because we're not trying to pay that anyway. This is confusing. All right. So I nominate, of the best states to retire, Delaware is definitely on the list. It's in the top probably 3. Actually, let's just take a look at properties in Delaware. Anyone from let's go to Realtor. I just want to see what. Let's take a gander. We're going to say Newark, Delaware. I just remember that because I used to drive by it all the time when I was coming from DC to go see my mom up in Maine. Newark, Delaware. You have to go through Harbor de Grace or whatever it's called, de Grasse, and you go through Delaware to get up north on 95. We're going to say, let's look at Newark, Delaware. I think that's how they say it there in Delaware, Newark. And we're going to say, let's see, hold on a second. We're going to put a property type, single family home. Again, you don't need anything fancy, dude. You're retired. You just need 3 beds, 2 baths. And some people don't want any land. Some people want a little bit. We're going to just go with it, man. All right. And we're going to say our max is 400,000. We'll say max is 450,000 schmackers. There we go. All right. So let's see what we got in Newark, Delaware. All right. So here's Newark, Delaware. And if I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry. Just put it in the notes here. That's a lot of houses there. How do I? 1 second. Got A2 private. Okay. Too small. You can see, is that blue? That's the water, dude. Now, if memory serves, USAA for a while wasn't insuring homeowners insurance, and I don't know if they weren't insuring in Delaware because it's right on the water. I don't know if that's still true or not, but just be advised, there might be some limitations on getting homeowners insurance through Delaware. I just don't know. All right, so trying to get this over here. All right, there we go. All right, so here is, and I think Middletown is if memory serves, I think that's kind of conservative. There we go, sweet. So you got these waterways here, all right? Let's see what this guy is. I don't even know what that is. That's in Townsend. Let's see what that. Oh, there you go. That's a 4-bed, 3.5 bath, 400,000 on a what's that? About a 44,000 square feet is an acre. So that's 1/8 of an acre. All right. So let's take, here we are in, I don't even know where this is. Townsend, Delaware. All right. So let's see what we got. Looks like, it looks like a joint house, one of those duplexes. But let's take a look at what we got. Looks pretty close to the water. You can see the water right there. All right. Let's see what we got. Oh, look at that. Golf course. Got to get rid of that, man. I know we got a lot of golfers, many of them who hire me. The world, you know what the world needs is more golf courses in Arizona. Look, you can play. It's cool, man. I'm not getting mad if you play golf. Just don't get mad at me. I'm like, golf doesn't do it for me. Here's one in Newcastle. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Look at this. 1/2 acre, single-story ranch. This is a perfect house for retirement. 300,000 schmackers. Look at this. You're not going to, I have no idea what Newcastle, Delaware is like. You can't beat that, dudes. Look at that. 2-car garage, 1-story ranch. They got the, whatever that thing was called. Not Vestatube. I forgot, not pergola. I forgot what they call that. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Let's see what the property tax on this house. Property details, monthly payment. Let's see what we got here. Whoa, $700 a month in property? Is that damn? What? Nah, dude, that can't be right. $700 a month in property tax on a $300,000 property. Are you flipping kidding me? Do I have to take back everything I just said about Delaware times 12? That's $8,500 a month, a year on a 300,000. That can't be right. Yeah, it's 3% property tax. No way, Jose. Yeah, I don't buy that for 2 seconds flat. There's no way that thing's costing that much. All right, so let's go to something else. That's a perfect house. Anyone in Delaware here, put in the notes if that seems right. That doesn't make sense to me at all. There's no way Delaware's charging 3.8% property tax. All right, so let's go down here. So let's go to Bridgeton. I think it's what it says. Oh, look at that, 300. No, we don't need 9 beds. Let's go right here. There we go. Third of an acre, 275,000 schmackers, 3 beds, 2 houses or 2 baths. Looks like it's a single story ranch too. I'd probably take these trees down because I don't want a hurricane cutting them up. All right, so we got 275,000, a third of an acre. Oh, that's New Jersey. Oh, maybe that was the other one was New Jersey. I thought I did Delaware. Come on. I don't want New Jersey. Jersey's for suckers. I can say that because I live there. I can say New Jersey. And my sister lives there too. And I don't think my uncle does anymore. But my sister lives in New Jersey. So I can say New Jersey's for suckers. So maybe that was New Jersey. Uh-oh. We got our guys getting rid of. Oh, boy. Here comes old Finnegan. We got people at the door. Let me close the blinds here. Hold on a second. What happened? I don't want that. All right. There we go. So we got to stay in Delaware. Yeah, see, what the hell's Delaware, man? I don't want New Jersey. That's Philadelphia. Okay. Is that Delaware? Let's see. Yeah, we know this is going to be Delaware. All right, let's just look at this one right here. Benny, hold on a sec. Bensky's. This one needs some work. Okay. Whatever. All right, look at. Oh, you get the point. All right, so we'll stop that. That was an exercise in futility there. There's no way. Yeah, look at this. My man, Northwest Ohio, 2,000 square foot house, city lot, 250,000, taxes, $2,400 a year. Can't beat that, man. That house is New Jersey. Yeah, here's Donna, right there. All right, yeah, that must have been New Jersey. Yeah, here's Leisure, wants a condo lock and leave. I completely agree. Well, PA, yeah, man. Yeah, that was no way that was right. Okay, now I'm intrigued. I gotta go back. Bear with me just a second, guys. There's no way that was. We all agree. No way that was correct. Hold on just a sec. Let's bring back Realtor. I'm gonna make it bigger, like we can just see it straight up. How dare you, Michael? Call me out. Look, Michael's calling me out. He said, "The house was in New Jersey. How dare you?" I don't make mistakes, Michael. As you made the mistake. It's your fault, Michael, not mine. You screwed it up. Here's Sue in Long Island. Damn, that's nuts, dudes. Oof. Actually, what we're going to do here real quick. Why is it taking so long? Let's see. I'm going to show you guys where I used to live. I wonder if it'd be on here. Hold on a second. Man, I got to close these windows or something. Right here. Hey. I'm going to show you guys the house we used to live in. And I think it'll show on Realtor. Let's see. If not, I want to see if they show the property tax. Hey, all right, sweet. There's my old house. Hold on a second. Looks like Realtor's taking a long time to. Oh, here we go. Yes, this is where we used to live right here. 610 Maple Ave, Haddonfield, New Jersey. Last sold. No. Wait, is that the right house? I thought it was 601. No, is that the right house? don't think it's right. I think we were 601 actually. I can't remember. Anyway, so let's see what the property taxes were. If it shows, yeah, right here. Look at that, $14,000 in New Jersey. Crazy. Yeah, 610. Were we 601 or 610? All right, 1 second. We close this. All right, $14,000. How do people afford this to live there, retire? It's crazy. Nuts. Upper Delaware is more expensive. Middletown has exploded in the last, in my opinion, not ideal 10 to 50. Most retired said that Southern Delaware, although state politics is not to my liking. Yeah, we're cold. Yeah, Western. I don't think Denise lives in Western North Carolina, but Western North Carolina has a lot of attraction. I'm like, look, if we're moving from Georgia, we're moving to Virginia. That's all there is to it. All right, we just got a lawnmower guy. Believe it or not, yes, I do pay people to do my lawn. Pains me to say it. Pains me to say it, but I do because, well, I can afford it, I suppose. All right, so let's Dalton, Virginia. I don't know too much about Dalton, Sue. It's up there right on the Tennessee line. It's the carpet capital of the world. I think I did a video on Georgia. I can't remember if I did Dalton or not. I can't remember if I did a video on driving through Dalton. But there's some towns up there. I did Ringgold, another one, which have some nice towns. I liked it a lot. Angie wants a basement. Yeah. Yeah, crime stuff, medical care. Oh, there's going to be tons of medical care in Delaware, dude. Trust me. All the doctors from Pennsylvania, when their kids move out of the house, they move to Delaware because the property tax is low. State income tax is much lower. Your pronunciation is correct. Newark. Yeah, there you go. Right on, Donna. Oh, California surfer dude. Yeah, Wilmington. Well, I mean, look, man. Delaware is cold. It's mid-Atlantic, dudes. Mid-Atlantic. Come on, not that bad. All right. Yep, get out of California. Groceries are outrageous, California. Oh, there's an American Indian Native Indian reservation nearby. Cigarettes are always cheaper there, even more in highly taxed states. Sweet. So when I go pick up my smoking habit again, because want to, they'll protect me from various diseases. You know, weird. Yeah, it seems like there's some course. Obviously, this is silly, but I'm just like, some of these people who smoke like chimneys are. My mom and my dad are still alive and well. How the hell? They never get exercise. They smoke like chimneys. I mean, yet they're still alive and well. I don't say well, but it's weird. It's almost like the cigarette smoking increases their immune system. I'd never say that again. Oh yeah, that pump on my pool, man. That's a problem. In fact, Charlotte. So we finally got our thing done. It's pretty much, we got the inspector coming in tomorrow. We got our back porch thing, screen and porch, and we got these heating mechanisms. So I didn't want them, but I was overridden by El Jefe. Anyway, so Liam and I are out there watching football last night. He's supposedly doing his homework. And Charles says, turn on the heaters. It'll be warmer. I said, I'm not heating the outside, man. We got a blanket. It's fine. We got the football game on. We're in the screen porch. The dogs are sitting there. We got to put blankets on. I got a sweatshirt on. I said, we don't need the heaters. She goes, that's what we got them for. I said, sister, you got any idea what the electricity bill is? Jeez Louise, man. It's kind of funny. I said, I never even want the stupid heaters. I said, no. She was like, oh. I said, you're just heating outside. It's a screen porch. The heat is heating and it's going outside. Crazy. And I was like, you know how much it costs to heat stuff with electricity? Turn on the air conditioner and open up the windows. Oh my goodness. I was like, man, I won that battle in terms of turn off the heat because Liam was on my side. I was like, yeah, that's fine, Mom. Of course, if he was not on my side, I would have lost. All right. As a smoker, Traveling construction worker for the last 40. I can confidently state that no sales tax go hand in hand with cheaper price cigarettes. Get it. Oh, Denise used to keep the pool run. Shut it now. You don't bring. I don't get it. You don't. You keep what running? You still got to have your pump kicking in, don't you? I need to be. Yeah, 100%. I cannot agree more. Being close. The problem is being close to the water means you're closer to hurricanes, which means you're going to have to pay more for property tax, which if you can even get it, which kind of sucks. But I'm like you, Angie. Man, I would kill to be close to the water. I think everybody would. That's why California is so freaking desirable. Close to the water without freezing my tush off. But then you got to deal with the Pacific. I did not know the Pacific Ocean is colder than the Atlantic Ocean. I had no clue. And then that's crazy to me. And I said, what? Anyway, so you can't really go swimming in the Pacific Ocean unless you got kahunas of steel, which I no longer have. And being from Maine, I used to swim in the Maine water. Maine dudes. You know what I'm saying? In freaking June. Ugh. Makes me really cold thinking about it. All right. We live in Davidson. Oh yeah, look for Lake Norman. Oh, cool. Hey, James. There's Brad is like on the Chamber of Commerce for Northwest Ohio. Someone had posted it, maybe been Brad. There's like town up there. He's like, oh, look at this. I forgot what the town was. I can't remember. But he's like, look at this. Anyway, total electricity for a 2,000 square foot home, electric only $137 per month on a yearly budget, 6-foot wall, 6-inch walls, good windows, and good, really 100%. North Padre Island. Indiana income tax is just over 3%, but some locals had 2. That's what it is. More sales tax. Property tax capped at 1%. Oh, there you go. I didn't know that. Good stuff. Joe. Need a wood stove in Maine. They're gonna, man. They're gonna, because they're coming at them. Yeah, 100%. I mean, when I'm painting with a broad brush, Michael. But at the end of the day, there's tons of conservative teachers, tons. The teachers' unions are pure evil, though. And unfortunately, a lot of the teachers have to join the teachers' unions in a lot of states that aren't right to work. And this is where the right to work law is screwed up, man. I mean, you can't force people to join unions first. That's insane. But they're getting the benefit of the union contract. Well, don't force them to join unions. I mean, I hate to say it, but you can't get it. You can't force people to join a freaking organization, especially when said organization violates your principles on abortion, on 57 flavors, and they start supporting just gun control laws. Randy Weingarter can kiss my big fat shiny behind. She is horrible and evil, evil scumbag. She's the head of the AFT. I don't even remember who the NEA head is anymore. But the facts are a lot of these teachers are not go along with the agenda, but they're forced to join these unions, man. It's crazy. I know the Supreme Court just did something where they don't have to do that anymore. And the union membership has just dropped like a brick in water, thankfully. So now if you're part of the union, you're doing it deliberately. And you're even doing it because you're coerced by your neighbor. It's no different than East German Stasi. Oh, you're not going to clap for the NHS. That's what they did in the UK. Oh, you're not clapping for the NHS when the TikTok nurses come out? Well, we're going to report you. That's what they do in the East Germany as well. It's kind of like that here now. If you don't join the stupid union, you're gonna say, "Oh, okay." I like your car. Be ashamed if something were to happen to you, if that makes sense. Because these union people are freaking thugs, dude. These teachers unions, horrible individuals, horrible. If you're a teachers union member, I got no problem with you. If you're in the leadership, I don't want anything to do with you, man. I know your agenda, and your agenda is pure evil for sure. Yeah, dude. All right, hold on a sec. I can't believe I pay for this. I can't, but I just allows me to do this. This is called in economics comparable, competitive advantage. I'm better at doing this than I am going out there doing yard work, if that makes sense. I think. I hope. Anyway, yeah, you can't go wrong in Tennessee, man. I mean, and you can't. I mean, like you can't go wrong in North Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia. I mean, it kicks ass down here. There's no other way around that. For me, it's Virginia. There's just no two ways around. I love it, man. It's everything right. The problem with Virginia is we're gonna have to move there, and it's gonna be hard for us to do that in any quick. We can't do it with the quickness because we've accumulated 10 years of stuff. It'll be 15, probably almost 16 years of stuff by the time we move. It's just like oof. But this house will be too big. We don't need a big old house with no one, just me and Charlotte and two dogs. Hopefully they'll last that long. But at the end of the day, we got to declutter anyway. So we'll be going back to Virginia at some point. I mean, look, I said this a million times. I'd love to go back to Maine. I can't take the cold, dude. It's too cold. Even just going out, like I said this morning with my kid, I was like, can't do it. If taking the dogs for a walk, I mean, can't. Finn. Let's see what else we got here. See, everyone thinks Virginia's expensive overall, but they're thinking about the Northern Virginia to Richmond corridor. You come out of there, Jill, it's not that expensive. Well, let me show you. Let's see if I can't find Finn. That'll be fun. Let's just go through go to 250. Knucklehead. So we're gonna go to like when he makes that noise. Chewbacca. Is it Chewbacca? All right, so let's see if we can't show. There we go. All right, so we're going to show you where we lived. Share screen in Virginia. Hey, there we go. All right, so we lived at 250 Sunset Drive, Dayton, Virginia. Oh, they don't have a. Oh man. Okay. Used to be able to see it. I guess they don't let us see that anymore. Let's see if we can put the guy someplace in here. Am I on Google? I'm on Google. All right, so there, you might be able to see our house from here. All right, so here's a United Methodist Church, and we lived. Hold on just a second. We lived. I'm drawing a blank now. Hold on just a second. Oh yeah, all right, sweet. So we almost bought this house right here. That was going for sale for 109 back in 2002. That house right there. We almost bought that. Instead, we went up here and bought a house, just kind of like this, but siding, a ranch, 3-bed, 1-bath, friggin' 1,100 square feet, a quarter of an acre. You know what I'm saying? With siding. But here's our little town. Come down here. I'll show you something here real quick. Come over here to the old Dayton High School. This is a new house right there. That wasn't there when I lived here. All right. And this is where lots of Mennonites would live on the outskirts because they had all the farms. So you come on a Sunday going to church, you see this freaking army of Mennonites. It's crazy. It's, just as a convoy. It's fantastic. So you come down here. But you can see the Shenandoah Valley. It's just freaking awesome. Bear with me just a second. And there's a Civil War history here, by the way. And I'm not going to get too deep in it because I can't remember the exact terms. But our neighbor, what happened? I was trying to show you the school that's down here. It's now did I miss it? Oh, yeah, I think it's coming up. Oh, I guess I missed it. Wait, yeah, there it is. That used to be the Dayton High School right there. Now it's the Blue Ridge Christian School. And for a while, it's called the Dayton Learning Center, where they had ESL classes and whatnot. So if you look over here, actually, let me just, I'm going to pop the guy. How do I do this again? I'm going to pop the guy down here into the, hold on just a second. We're going to pop the guy, John Whalen, right here. Yeah, okay. So let's pop the guy downtown right here. We rented this house when we first moved there. It's a Sadie Rose Foundation now. And that's right on. So here's a little downtown for Dayton. And right there is a Cargill. It used to be the forgot what it used to be, but it's a Cargill turkey plant. Pilgrim's no, it wasn't Pilgrim's Pride. Anyway, so that's where they all cut the heads off turkeys and whatnot. And you have this just smell that permeated throughout the whole town. You know what I'm saying? And then so we, the smell you got used to it, but after a while you kind of said, man, I'd like to get away from that smell. My wife was very good friends with a lady who lived here, and this is before they made it the Primrose House. I forgot her name, but she, an older lady, her and her husband, and every now and again, my wife, she's an old lady, and she'd always give a piece of candy to Maddie when they come over just to kind of hang out because she was just an old lady with her old husband, and they ended up dying. But anyway, so we moved over. So what happened was we bought this house. It's up that hill a little bit, and the smell wasn't quite as bad as it was down here. But then here's the that's the it's a salon now. That used to be where you'd register and everything. Oh yeah, that's right. They used to be the city hall, but they developed a new city hall. Yeah, it's just pretty cool, man. It's just a cool little town. And then right here is the post office. So a guy named Bob Ritchie used to be the postmaster general. There's just one or two people working that post office. And every time I go in there, because you didn't have mailbox, you had to go everything through the post office. That's where all had your mail come. And we just got talking hockey. He had never been to a hockey game, so I took him to a Capitals game in D.C. one time, and he had a blast. Lots of fun there. And then you had BB&T Bank. I guess they call it Truist. I don't even know. It's probably not even called Truist anymore. So that's where we used to live in Virginia. That was pretty cool. Dane's a great little town. So let's see. Let's go to where else we used to live. Just while I'm yapping. Anyone, if you got questions or anything, I'm just kind of going off here. And Craig James, is Craig James on here? Hey, my sister lives in Roanoke. Craig Jones, near Smith Mountain Lakes, my favorite lake. The area is beautifully ever. Oh yeah, dude, freaking Roanoke kicks ass. Well, the town itself, but down there does certainly. Let me. All right, so now we're gonna go from there. We're gonna go to. I was hoping I could put my 601, maybe 601. Yeah, there was 601 Maple Ave. All right. So then we lived. Let's see if if I can drop the guy here. Boink, boink. Let's put this guy here. Hey, it's gonna let me do it. Maple Ave right there. I think I can. Yeah, sweet. Hey, yeah, that's my car right there. Hey, it's an old picture. That's my old house right there in New Jersey, and that's our old van. We bought that from USA for $7,500. Old Ford, whatever the Ford minivans were. That's my sister-in-law's car because she used to live there with us for some ungodly reason. Yeah, look at that. That's our old house right there in New Jersey. Of all the place I lived, this is the place I enjoyed the most, frankly. I don't like New Jersey politics. I don't like the taxes, and the town was pretty liberal, but maybe it's great neighbors. You could walk to school. You could walk to just how freaking gorgeous that is, man. And then we'd be out here. Some lady had a swing set that she didn't want anymore. So Charlotte and I took it down. We redid it right here. And then so basically what would happen is all the neighborhood kids would come swimming or playing our swing set. I'd be out there trying to hang out with my kids, and all the neighborhood kids would join. And that's fun and all, but I was like, dude, I'm trying to hang out with my kids, like play baseball. So when I had this freaking kick-ass garden right here, and we had these. Oh yeah, now this is new. See, look at that. Yep, she took down the swing set. So look at that. That's not my stuff right there. That's a new lady who bought the house from us. I imagine. Look at the difference. Look at that. That's my car. That's Aunt Jessie's. My sister-in-law Jessica. And then you come right here. Yeah, look at that change. Isn't that weird? I wonder if you can see. That's strange. Oops, hold on a second. Gotta make this big. Oops, I just screwed up. All right. Yeah, so we had these shrubs right here, give us some privacy. Then we had this kick-ass garden right there, dude. And the first thing, had all literally in New Jersey, that's why it's called the Garden State. You drop a nickel in the ground, you're going to get a tomato. It's freaking crazy. Had pumpkins growing, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, it's just, all you had to do is pick them. It's already ready to be eaten. All you had to do is go out there and pick them. First thing she did, got rid of it all. I said, what are you doing, lady? Crazy. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. Scared the living bejesus out of me, though. So we're sitting around here, our neighbors, on the 4th of July, lighting fireworks, and we're getting ready to sell the house. We're getting ready to move to Texas. It was a dry summer, my friend, a dry summer. And this tree right here, some of those fireworks are going up the tree. I was like, ugh, I wasn't doing it. I don't like fireworks. And I was like, man, if that catches fire, we're all screwed. Oh, my goodness. Scared me the living bejesus out of me. Oh, man, that's funny. This guy, has he still got the same truck? Yep, he still got that same truck, our neighbor right there. Holy crap. Isn't that funny? See a street view. That's 2008. See what that looks like. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's go to 2012. Yeah, we already did 2012. All right, so and then what happened was this is some kind of major intersection for our town right here. So if you come up to the right, is Cherry Hill Mall up this way. If you go just right down the street, and here's downtown Haddonfield on the left. So a lot of people would cut through, this right here. I forgot what this Grove Street is what it's called, and you get this light right here, and it just be traffic like crazy. It's so loud. You're like, dude. And then if you're stuck at, if literally there's New Jersey people, if you're even at 4 a.m, if someone when the lights change, if they don't immediately go forward, people are honking. You're like, oh my goodness, it's 4 a.m. That wake me up. So we finally got dual pane windows, and that minimized the sound a lot. All right, so that's cool. Let's see what else we got here. Just while I'm yapping. Yeah, jug handles. Dude, New Jersey, you turn right to turn left. It's insane. Anyway, it was a great town, dude. The neighbors are great. I very much enjoyed it. You could walk to. I mean, check this out. You could literally we go up here, and the downtown is down there. Look at all the trees and stuff. It's just beautiful. The train is up there, so I'd take the speed line to get into Philadelphia. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. There's something going on here. Some guy that was up to no good. I think he was like, what was he doing? He's like spying on chicks or something like that. There was something going on. I can't remember, but he was up to no good. I can't remember what he's doing. But yeah, like a telescope there's something where he's spying on, young girls. Freaking creep. There was dude, check this out. This is freaking insanity. There's a fireman who used to walk around when he's not on fireman duty, and he'd freaking whip his dong out. And not to men, of course, but to women. And people are like, yeah, it's just Joey the fire. Like, what? He'll whip his private. You're like, what? What? I could not believe that. He'd never do it to a guy, of course. I was like, what the hell? And people are like, yeah, it's just old Joey. I said, what are you talking about? You don't freaking, it's crazy. Yeah, apparently there's a pretty big swingers thing in here. And look, man, this is all here. I wasn't part of it. I have no desire to be part of any other dude stuff. No desire at all. I'm hot for my wife, and that's pretty much it. And then, but it's like, huh? Anyway, crazy. So we had our own little neighborhood, just like 4 or 5 houses right here, and the rest of the town could kiss my butt. I was like, dude, the fact that you're saying when Joey whips out his thing to people, he's a fireman, everyone's like, yeah, it's just old Joey. It's like, he's whipping out his thing. You can't have that. And he's a small guy too, of course. Freaking couldn't believe it. All right, so let's see. So we moved from there. I'm just kind of yapping here. So we moved to 21 Rattlesnake Bluff, Bernie, Texas. All right, cool. So what we come up with here, shall we? All right, so we moved there. So we moved from Dayton to Georgia. Dayton, Virginia to Texas, where I'm going to show you right now. Yep, here's Texas, Tejas, right there. We lived at 121 Rattlesnake Bluff in Bernie, Texas. And hey, he's going to let me drop the guy. Sweet. Yay. I think. Maybe not. Okay. Yeah, dude. All right, so there you go. You got the cedar trees. Yeah. That's our house right there. Now, when we moved down here, so we went from that 3-bed, 1-bath house, 1,200 square foot in Dayton, to this guy right here, 3,300, 4 baths, 4 beds, a play area up here. Of course, no basement. Tile. We sold our house in Dayton for like $225,000. We bought this guy for 310. I mean, you go down to Texas and you're like, your eyes are like, holy crap, dude. I'm like, how can we? I mean, this was insanity. I could not believe we could buy a house, and it scared the living death out of me. It was turned out, it didn't end up to be a mistake, but it could have been. And I'm like, dude, we lived right there, man. Isn't that crazy? Let's see if they got the street view from, yeah, there we go. Yep. And that's our tricycles. That's my Honda Odyssey that we leased. I think that looks like a Toyota. So I'm going to show you something. That's our car. That's us right there. That's when we lived there, 2011. And hey, look at all these kids running around here. There's Charlotte right there. There's Kevin. Liam's, let's see if I can make it bigger. Yep, there's Kevin. There's Liam right here. There's Charlotte. Look how pretty. Oh my goodness. Look at Liam. He's like, what? There's Kevin on his bike, this little tricycle thing. Can't remember who these people were. I forgot. But anyway, so neighborhood people. Isn't that funny? Can't remember that kid. Hey, honey. Is that Chloe? Nah, I think Chloe's probably in school. Anyway, so there's Charlotte. Isn't that funny? There she is. Looks the same. She's like, I'm so fat. I said, dude, you look the exact same you did as you did freaking 10 years ago. Stop it. Kill me. Anyway, so we moved from Virginia to here to New Jersey. Virginia to Texas to New Jersey and down here. I wonder if we got real quick. I'm just going to see. Hold on just a second while I'm thinking about it. Just while I'm yapping. We'll go through some, let's see, Dean Street, Portland, Maine. Let's go to Dean Street in Portland, Maine. I'm going to show you. Yeah, okay, sweet. Is anyone still here? I still got a couple people here. All right, fun. I want you to talk about retirement planning. Oh, man. How dare you? All right, so when I was growing up, all right, yeah, right here. Okay, cool. So here's King Middle School. Yeah, that's where I went to middle school. There's Portland Stadium right there where we played football for King. And when I was a freshman, I played football for Portland High School. I sucked. When I say play, I was on the team. I probably got 3 snaps a game. That's where the Maine, the Portland Sea Dogs play right here, the minor league team. Here's where Deering Oaks is, I should say, where all the pervs used to hang out at night. They probably still do. I don't know if they still do. I don't know. But I guess you can't police up pervs anymore because that would put you as your anti-57 flavors. But anyway, so then it's going to drop. Hey, yes, it will. Sweet. All right, so we rented. My dad rented. Okay. So here's Nathan Clifford. It used to be an elementary school. Now it's a big place for condos. First place I ever got drunk right here is a field party at Nathan Clifford School. And I had just got eyeglasses. And I got so drunk, I passed out. I fell asleep in here. And then I left my glasses when I ran home like later on that night to avoid getting in trouble. And I never got my glasses. I literally just got them, man. And I was failing all my classes because I couldn't see the board. So I got glasses. And then I never told my dad I lost them until probably about a year later. So I was able to basically squeak by in 8th grade because I was like, dude, I can't see the board. All right. So we used to rent this. Did they change that? Oh, yeah, they changed this a lot. All right. So we rented this place, the first floor of this house right here. My dad did. The second floor was had a couple of teenage kids in there who used to play in a band that they'd play in the basement. Just some kind of makeshift band, but it's fun. I love to listen to them. They play AC/DC, Kinks and stuff. This is back in the early 80s, by the way. Anyway, so they definitely changed this around, but that's where we used to rent right there. 1 second. So from like when I was 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, we rent there. Then my dad moved to DC. My mom moved in, and we rented there until my mom met her second husband, who lived in Cape Elizabeth. And so I went to Portland High School for a semester here. Then we moved to Cape Elizabeth for the second part of my freshman year. And it was funny though, because we used to gather. We'd all just kind of sit on this, stump right here, all the little neighborhood guys and stuff, and then we'd go over here, and this is like the main street. I think is right here. Maybe it was. Oh yeah, no, it wasn't. I'll keep going. Hold on a second. Let's see if it takes me. Hey, I think it will. Oh yeah, this. Oh yeah, here we come. And so this is kind of a main. This is Deering Ave or Deering Street. I can't remember. But anyway, so you have the University of Southern Maine is up here, the law school, or University of Maine Law School is up here. University of Southern Maine is down here, over here, and down here is going to our King Middle School, and then downtown. So downtown Portland's right there. So it's a pretty busy area. And what we would do is we would sit in behind these trees right here and bushes, and we'd throw rocks at cars. Oh my goodness. And it was like, it would be, I don't know, 5 or 6 of us, 8 of us, something like that. And these were car kids. I didn't even have a car growing up, dude. The first time I had a car was when we moved up here with my dad. He had some kind of freaking Pinto thing. I don't know what the hell he had. It wasn't a Pinto. It was a Dodge Omni is what it was. Anyway, so these guys say, oh, here comes this whatever, freaking, they'd know the year, make, and model of these vehicles that were coming. And they'd say, no, don't hit that one. That's a 1964 Chrysler or Baron or whatever the hell it is. I'd say, how the hell do you know that? That's how good of an eye they had for these vehicles. And then there'd be some, I don't know, some Japanese cars. Oh yeah, I'll hit that one instead. So you throw rocks at them. One time we hit one pretty good. The guy kind of skidded off, but no one got hurt, thankfully. But he skidded off right here, and he came running. I can't remember if he caught somebody or not. I can't remember, but I remember what we'd do is we'd hit the car. Don't do this at home. And we go skedaddling. If they stopped, we'd go skedaddling. And then we'd all gather back at my house, sitting on this stump. And every now and again, an angry guy say, hey, you guys hit my car? We'd be like, oh, well, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. What? We all be gathering, sit on that stump. It was fun. I'm not going to lie. It was fun back then. I mean, it's obviously idiotic. I get it, but it was fun to do. And don't do that. It's freaking dangerous. You hear about all these things about people getting killed, but that's what we used to do. All right. So now I'm going to show you where my mom moved into. It was on in Cape Elizabeth 2. 110. 2. Yeah, right there. Sweet. Hey, showing up. All right, cool. So let's go to where my mom moved into. And I ended up living for just a couple months until I moved in with my dad in Maryland. So my mom moved here with her. She didn't marry this guy until friggin' a long time later, but we lived, right. Oh man, they really changed this around. There's none of this used to be back here. All right, so this is 110 Two Lights Road. Let me if I can drop. Yeah, right there. Sweet. Hey. You're not gonna be able to see the house, but can we? Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, I think we might be able to. Can we? I don't know if I get. I'm not sure what's going on here. Oh, there it is, right there. Yeah, all right. So I'm on the back end here. Okay, cool. So we lived right here. My mom's boyfriend, he owned that house. It was passed down from like 3 generations, and I hated it. I hated it I freaking hated. I hated to live in there. Oh, so horrible. It just didn't have any hot water to take a shower, and then if there's enough hot water and it ran out, and you'd get in big trouble if he couldn't take his stupid shower. You're like, dude. Anyway, it's just bad. And he never confronted you. He always made my mom confront me. I said, you're a friggin' clown. And so anyway, I hate it. So anyway, I moved out after just 3 months living there. But the interesting thing was, we can go back here. If we go to, so look at that. There's Kettle Cove. Oh my goodness. I mean, look how close to the beach you are. Here's Two Light State Park. It's crazy, man. Crazy. And then I'd walk. Right here is where Maxwell's farm was, where I used to pick strawberries right there. And I imagine they're still doing it too. So we walk up there and get paid when he got paid. I think he got paid every day. You walk up here to Rudy's, which is the local grocery store and sub shop, and you just buy candy in grocery stores. That's the church we go to on occasion. That's the church. One of the most embarrassing things I ever did is I dropped the, in Catholic Church, they give you the bread, the body of Jesus. They literally think it's the body of Jesus, and I'm not here to debate that. It's interesting. They literally think. And I remember I dropped it one time, and it rolled under some old lady's chair, and so I must look, man. We weren't the rich. This is Cape Elizabeth's rich kid place. All right, we had no money. All right, even though we lived in that house, we had no money. I was wearing hand-me-down clothes from my freaking cousin Dale in California, and we just looked like white trash, and basically we were. So now we're in rich, hoity-toity part of Maine. We don't belong, and here I am, just a mess. And I dropped the little body of Christ rolls under the chair of some freaking angry old lady who's sitting there. And she couldn't take a moment to reach down and get it. I literally had to go under there and I said, excuse me. And she wouldn't move. I said, and she saw me. She looked at the whole thing and she just kind of sat there like, how dare you? I was like, I'll never forget that. I said, man, I'll never forget that. I said, this does not, anyway, the point being is that freaking lady can kiss my big fat behind. I said, just move over so I can get your freaking bread. I can get the body of Christ, the whatever they call it. And I was like, and she barely could only with her dainty shoes or dainty feet could she move over just a tad for me to get it. I literally had to crawl under the freaking chair to get the thing. Freaking scumbag. I was like, that's what Jesus would do, certainly. See, he'd make a kid feel like a crap because he doesn't belong there anyway. Anyway, that is part of my issue about never been a big fan of rich people because they it's imposter syndrome. Like we were imposters in Cape Elizabeth. You know what I'm saying? And it used to piss me off. I remember going one of my first days at Cape Elizabeth High School, and again, I'm just some ratty old white trash kid. You know what I'm saying? And these all rich hoity-toity people. Turns out a lot of them are actually really nice. I'm telling you right now. I got to know some of the rich kids who play baseball. Well, guys pretty good at baseball. They're actually good guys, man. And it's just one of those things that you kind of go in there feeling, rich kids. But I'll never forget this one girl. I guess she didn't know us from Portland. I came from Portland High School, which is the white trash school of the whole state of Maine. And she was making a comment like, "Oh, Nick, what are these kids from?" Something about making fun of Portland High School or something like that. And then I remember one girl who knew I was from Portland said, "Hey, Josh came from Portland," and I wasn't sure if they're going to laugh at me or be appalled. I didn't know. I was like, "Yeah." Frank was like, I didn't know what to expect. She goes, "Oh no, I didn't mean it like that." So, whatever, they don't care. But I'll never forget that. I was like, oh boy. And then I remember some kid when I was walking in the hall. I was just freshman. I didn't know anybody. And some kid came up to me and goes, "Oh, you're from Portland, huh?" I was like, some big tall kid. I was like, yeah. "Oh, okay. Well, welcome to like a movies." And I was like, it's like, what the hell, dude? He's like, "Well, welcome to Cape Elizabeth. You're gonna fit right in," or something like that. I was like, okay. And they said, "See you later, Portland." I was like, It wasn't being nice. Let's put it that way. And then the funny thing was, when I get to my high school in Maryland in Blair, walking. Oh my goodness! So I go from Cape Elizabeth High School where I don't fit in, and I'm in a high school that's you got a lot of black people, a lot of people from parts unknown, and then some white people. It wasn't predominantly. Well, I don't know if I don't want to say it's predominantly black, but it's a good mix. And I'm one of my first days down there. I'm walking through the hall. I'll never forget. I'm just walking. I don't know anybody. I'm at fish out of water, my Maine accent and all that. And some big black guy named Franklin. I don't know why I know his name. I'm walking through the hall. He grabs me, he pushes me up against the locker. He says, "Get out of my way." I said, "Holy crap." I can't. I was like, "What did I do?" I said, "What have I done?" I'll never forget that. And I'm walking, and some guy said, "Oh, man, that's Franklin. Yeah, he's an asshole to everybody." I said, "Well, okay, that doesn't make me feel any better." It's like, stay out of the way of Franklin. I'll never forget that, man. I was like, I can't win. Can't win, man. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so that's where I hate bullies because bullies, I hate them. Hate them. Fauci, the bully. Francis Collins, bullies. They're all bullies. I should not say I hate them, but bullies make the unsuspecting make them feel uncomfortable, and that's happened to me. I never got beat up or anything like that, or anything like the high school. Like Stephen King, he must have been bullied because he writes about it a lot. Nothing like that ever happened to me, but other than these couple times where I was just like, dude, I'm just trying to go to class. You know what I'm saying? Maybe my situational awareness was minimal. I should have been having my head on a swivel. But either way, I just remember, I remember coming home saying, "Oh, I'm back at it." But now I got black kids, and I'm a white kid from Maine, and I've never been around black kids, and we had a couple black kids in Maine, not very many. I was like, "Oh," but it works out, man. It works out for the best, or it doesn't. I don't know, but for me, it worked out for the best. But oh, the stories of your old buddy Josh. So anyway, if you hear some semblance of what's the not what's the word I'm looking for? Not anger, because I'm not anger, hostility. Just it's prejudiced against bull, not bullying behavior, but wealthy behavior. Because at Cape Elizabeth, it really bothered me how badly I did not fit in. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just a poor kid in a rich kid's school, and the funny thing was that was my own prejudice, and it still is to this day. I'll never forget one time we're driving with my mom, and I think we're taking my grampy back to the airport, and we didn't have a car, so I'm not even sure how we were driving. But I remember we're driving by these people who had a Lincoln Continental, and it used to be they used to have the spare tire in the back of the boot, as they call it in England, so you can see this like round thing. It says Continental in the back. And my mom said, "Oh, I wonder what they did to get that. I wonder who they stole from to get that car, or something like that." And I was probably 8 years old, and it's just the you're raised on that, like rich people stole, cheated. They only got by doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was raised. I can't remember what my grandpa said to that, but I remember I was sitting there like it was yesterday. I remember that. I mean, literally remember seeing this Lincoln Continental. My mom saying, "Wonder what who they stole from, or who they whatever to get that car." And I was like, anyway, it's ingrained in you, man. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta fight that stuff. We all got our prejudices built in, but it's ingrained in you. And you just gotta overcome it. And the way you overcome it is to recognize, Jesus died for every one of us. And at the end of the day, the good book says Jesus will come again and we'll all go to the glory of God. And that's it. And once you kind of go that route, you're never going to completely eliminate your ability to be discriminatory or have prejudice, but you can kind of put it on a, stop it to some regard just by recognizing you're engaging in that. You're engaging that behavior, Josh. Don't do that. I see that every now and again. I'll listen to some music, it'll get me pissed off. Like, yep, got turned off. You're engaging in angry behavior, angry sentiments. Stop doing that, and it's good to recognize that. All right, yeah, you learn early to stay on the straight and narrow, work hard, save your money. 100%, man. Poor kids, sausage gravy biscuit says poor kids learn how to work or they stay poor. Man, that's like one dude, 100%, 100%, dude. Poor kids learn how to work or they stay poor. That's exactly right, because you're not getting it handed to you. And then if you stay poor, that's your own damn fault. I don't have any sympathy either for poor kids. Like, as they got all these tattoos, and new phones, smoking cigarettes. They're like, I can't get by. I'm like, yeah, you could. Yeah, you could. If people can come here without speaking the damn language and they're getting by, you can get by. You freaking scumbag. I get it's white people are like this big time too. White people have such this entitlement thing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, how dare you? Black people have it too. Yeah, I'm white. I'm talking about white people. Whatever white means, we don't know. But at the end of the day, if you're white in this country and you're griping that you can't get by, yeah, I don't know what to tell you, dude. There's something wrong with you, because you can get by. I mean, same if you're black too. Don't get me wrong. Or anyone in between. I don't care. But for white people to sit there and say, "Oh my goodness, it's freaking Trump or they're holding me back," no one's holding you back. The Jews, no one's holding you back. You're holding yourself back because you're an entitled little piece of crap. You know how many freaking jobs are out there ready for you to work if you just show up on time and keep your nose clean? And none of you guys I'm yelling at. I'm just yelling at these typical white guys, like, or women in particular. Like, all right, yeah, don't have babies. Keep your freaking legs. Don't spread your legs for the first dude who blinks an eye. Don't get on meth. Don't have all these tattoos. Don't smoke cigarettes. Go get a job and show up on time. You'll see how rapidly you advance in the ranks. And men, don't pull your crap out of the first chick who blinks an eye at you. Say, oh, keep in your pants. Go get a job. Don't smoke. Don't drink all that stupid alcohol. Don't tattoo yourself all up with sleeve tattoos and say you can't afford anything. And show up on time. It's amazing how you advance through the ranks. It's crazy. Doesn't take much. Just show up on time and keep your nose clean. Oh, you're gonna rob me of all my fun. Yeah, okay, then don't gripe to me that you can't get by. That's the thing about Maine too, by the way. Is just so Maine. Hell, they used to call Welfare Island of the Peaks Island where I'm from. That's what it used to be called. So all these freaking people say, "Oh, the man's holding me back. Here's all kinds of welfare benefits." Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with being on food stamps. I got. Wait, I think I had it here. It's in here someplace. Nothing wrong with being on that if it's as long as it's not a life choice. If you're on this and it's a life choice, you're a freaking problem, dude. If you have this because you're saying I can't, if it's not a life choice that is put on you for whatever reason, I got no problem with that. If you're living day to day, just hoping to get another food stamp thing because you don't want to work, you can kiss my big fat behind. If you don't work, you don't eat. I think is what Lenin said. I can't stand the commies, hate the commies, but that's a good thing. You don't work, you don't eat, man. Now, if you can't work for whatever reason, yeah, we should support you. Enough of this freaking supporting anyone who's got a freaking drives me up the wall, man. I can't do it. It's kind of the same thing with retirement. I can't retire. I mean, okay. I don't want to hear you whining. I can't. Retiring is impossible in America. Dude, stop that crap. So, yeah, the median income, household income in the United States is like $60,000, $70,000. That's for people who are working. Take away the people who are working, the median household income is about $45,000. People are getting by just fine. They're not all eating cat food. There's not a welfare line out here with 8 million people, the freaking bread pantry stuff, whatever the hell it's called, bread lines. What the hell? It's just people whining in America. You live in the freaking look, America's got lots of problems. I don't like Sniffy Joe, you know what I'm saying? Fauci's, all that stuff. Just show up to work, dude. So frustrating. All these people coming over here can't speak a damn thing, and yet they do just fine because they show up to work. All these people getting drafted into Vietnam, they get Agent Orange, they come back here, they work their ass off, then they die short because of Agent Orange, and yet you're a healthy young man. You don't want to work because you're freaking lazy, and everyone's like, "It's okay, honey, you don't have to work." Nah, screw that. Oh boy, we got a Tinder dating site. Hate this guy. Can't stand. All right. Anyway. All right. Oh, dude, totally. People like I can't afford to live in the United States, to retire in the United States. There's 330 million people in the U.S. of A. I think 20% are over the age of 65. Very few people are eating cat food. And I don't want to say much more. It's going to go off a tangent, say things I don't want to say because some of you don't have the same experience I have. Everyone has different life experiences. In some regard, I am happy. I wouldn't change a thing because I am right now where I am. I would not want to be any other place. But sometimes I feel blessed that we did grow up poor because it gives you a little bit of a hunger that maybe some people don't have if they've grown up not poor, if that makes sense. And I don't know what it's like to grow up not poor. I don't know. But I know that I have a hunger, always have, always will, because I don't want to be poor. I've been there and I don't like it. I'd rather not be poor if I can avoid it. If I can avoid it by working, I'm going to work. That's all there is to it. Now, if you don't know what it's like, you might not have the same hunger. That might be okay. I don't know. I don't have that. I don't know what it's like. And that's why I got no sympathy for people who are able, who can't work, especially white guys. Just because that's me. Poor white trash. You're a poor white trash. You can't get a job. Bull crap, dude. But it drives me up the freaking wall. You can't get a job framing houses. Yes, you can. All right, you might be the only guy who speaks English. They're all speaking Spanish. Well, maybe that'll be a good opportunity for you to learn to speak Spanish. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Damn, so freaking frustrating, man. Yeah, being cold too. 100%, man. 100%. Fear of being poor is a powerful motivation. 100%, man. That's the thing is once you've been down there, you're like, I don't want to go down there. But the thing is, you say, I don't want to go down there, but I know I can survive if I do go back. And it also makes you grateful for what you have. All right. Here's Jill. Jill kicking ass, taking names. You don't even want to know what she's going through in her own family dynamics, trying to take care of others. That's the thing is a lot of us who grew up this way, we see the fault in other people, faults is probably too strong a word, but we see we're like, let me help you because you don't have to be like that. But the problem is, Jill and others, a lot of people don't want to be helped. or they want to be helped where they don't take any responsibility. And so by you helping them, you're actually hurting the cause, if that makes sense. I just this I see my wife with her family. She has 8 brothers and sisters, and basically she's a second mom for half of them. I'm like, man, you gotta let go. She can't. It's in her nature to try to help people who demand help but don't want to fix themselves. If that makes sense. I tell Charlotte, I said, man, yeah, stop this, man. You know what I'm saying? But she just can't do it. That's why I can't wait to when we retire and we'll probably do dog rescue. Instead of helping people who take advantage of her, she can help dogs who will love her to death. She's too good of a woman, that girl. I'm saying, babes. I don't know if that's a Catholic guilt in her. I don't think so. I don't think it's Catholic guilt. I just think she has a common sense that was given to her by her dad. Her mom's wonderful. I love Miss Rooney, my wife's mom. She freaking kicked ass and took names, but I think her dad is the one who had a little bit of a kick in the pants for my wife more so than her mom. Um, oh, oh yeah, dude. The, no, I'm gonna compete with Fritz, man. Fritz and Jackie, his wife, will be competing. I'm just joking. There's freaking Fritz and Jackie. How we got this knucklehead? Look at that knucklehead right there. We're just up there for a lunch to introduce my wife to Blue Ridge as a potential place to retire. Jackie and Fritz take us out to lunch. And remember, Jackie and Fritz are rescue people. And we just happen to walk, amazingly happenstance, by the parking lot where they're having dogs for adoption. We happen to see this little knucklehead sitting in a cage in a crate, just laying there minding his own, probably freaking 15, 20 pounds at that point. And I didn't think it was all that in a bag of chips. There's another dog I like better, but I was like, whatever. Charles was like, hey, you think we can hold him? I said, okay. And the guy, the volunteer said, overheard that amazingly. He must have binocular ears. He goes, oh, yeah. And he opened up the crate, hands old. His name used to be Sawyer. Sawyer to Charlotte. Sawyer, the first thing Sawyer does is lick the nose, and the rest is histoire. Oh, and I couldn't be happier. Actually, sad, man. Oh, it made me cry. My man Owen Benjamin. And for all you who think Owen Benjamin's anti-Semitic, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And I hear this all the time. How can you like Owen Benjamin? He hates Jews. No, he doesn't. Actually, it's crazy. Because only ignorant fools would say that. Oh my goodness. In his stream yesterday, he was sharing how he accidentally ran over his dog. Oh, horrible. Man, here's a 6'8" guy. Used to be a superstar comedian with Jay Leno, Adam Sandler. But just this guy is like, and he's all crying. It's like, dude, if that didn't make you cry, you're like, oh my goodness. And it's the horror of it. He's like, I cannot believe it. And that dog is what brought him and his wife together. Frankly, Sadie, I think it's Sophie the dog. Whoo! And I don't even know why you like dogs, man. Like, we just look at their freaking. Oh, why do we love these knuckleheads so much, right, boys? Oh my goodness! All right, what time check? Oh, it's 1:38. Yikes! All right, guys. Anything else going on? Oh, love it. I just, man. Oh, but you remember, there's a Christian guy who ran over his daughter. I can't remember his name. A singer. He's got blonde hair. You know what I'm talking about? He's got a 3-letter name, whatever. Matthew. I think it's Matt. I can't. Not Matthew West. Chris something. Chris Tomlin. I think it's Chris Tomlin. But he ran over his daughter going to the parking lot. Oh, I just. How do you recover from that? I mean, I cannot. Do you all know who I'm talking about? Yellow hair guy. I can see his face. I just can't remember his name. God throws us challenges even to the biggest believers, and oh my goodness, you have to have faith that for some reason, someone's got to know the name of that guy. Let's see. I want to say it's not Matt West. It's not Chris Tomlin. Michael something. Michael Smith. Yeah, right here is Angie. Came from Germany without her family, learned better English, made it legally. 100%. How dare you, Angie? How dare you? Obviously, you, Stephen. Oh, yeah, dude. Yep. Oh, it's his son. Yep. Oh, dude, I'm just his testimony is, and his music doesn't do much for me, frankly. A lot of that Christian music, I could do without. But I like Matthew West, Jake Hamilton, yeah, um, Christian Stanfill. There's some good Christian music that just it touches your soul. It's kind of like country music, though. A lot of it's crap, but there's some good stuff in there that you have to find because when you find it, your soul is being touched. Our trials strengthen us in our faith. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, so Owen Benjamin saying he just basically his other dog, Charlie, was jumping up on a truck that was pulling up into his. So he's following this truck because he sells milk, raw milk to people in his little community, and he said he was so the milk guy was coming in. He was coming up behind him, and the milk guy was going slow, and he was going only like 3 miles an hour or something like that. And this dog, his other dog, I think it was Charlie, was jumping up on the truck and Owen slowed down and said, Charlie, get off him. As he slowed down, he kind of veered to the right, had no clue that Sophie was right there. And then he heard like a scream a scream from Sophie, the dog. And she's like 20 years old or something. She was not, she's been through the grinder and she's blind and all that, or I think blind, whatever. But it wasn't like she had a long life ahead of her. Anyway, but he heard the whatever, and he picked her up. You'll be sitting there bawling, man. He says, I rushed her to the emergency vet, which is an hour and a half away because he lives in Idaho. And Sophie's laying on his lap, just like licking his hands as he's petting her, but he's, her spine was just, and you're sitting there and think, oh, all right, I'm going to stop this because I'll be pouring like a big old baby. And the trial strength is all right. I can get out of here, my friends. I might not do Sunday streams anymore. The late night streams, I like the day streams. I just have more motivation, and I'm thinking I like 2 days a week, man. I'm thinking I might not do Sunday streams anymore. I know I get more views on there and stuff, but Sunday nights it's just tough, dude. I'll think about it. We'll see. But anyway, it streams every Tuesday and Thursday noon. I schedule my calendar around these. I enjoy them. Hopefully, sometimes I'll do more interesting ones. Sometimes I'll do ones where just yapping like this, and I'm just yapping. But appreciate y'all being here. The reason you guys are here is why I can read so much. It's amazing to me. I was thinking about this morning as I was going over, again, the book on Einstein. I would not have the ability to do this if it wasn't for you guys, man. It's amazing to me. And because I'd never read the book of Einstein. I never would. I'd read something, but it would be, I don't know. It just, you have time because I don't have a real job. I have time to, to wake up and read it's amazing. I'm blessed. We're all blessed. But I feel very humbled that people would be here to watch old buddy Josh yap on YouTube with some crazy ideas of conspiracy theories, some crazy financial planning thoughts, my crazy right wing stuff. Talk about my dog. Some people get mad about that. I don't know why, and they can just go to hell. No, I don't want them to go to hell. They can go to other channels. If you don't like dogs, this is not this place for you. If you don't like dogs, dude. My goodness, oof. Obviously there could be some issue, some where they got bit and now they're just horrified of them. But be that as it may, the fact that enough people on YouTube are here to watch the videos I do where I can pay my mortgage and make even more money on top of that is amazing to me. And that way I can get up and read stuff that normally I would not be able to. It's crazy. I can't tell you. Look, I got so many, like the Bush. I got to read this. My mom sent me John Updike's. I just got so much stuff to read, and I never would be able to do. I can't do it now. But then I got to read this guy right here, questioning Einstein. Oh, the hits just keep on coming. All right, so I'm gonna get out of here. God bless. We'll see you guys.